My broken heart, no remedy.
You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it, now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
I just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers. Pass that 808, that don't shaker. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking it galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, all them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up. I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat while I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm a rapper. I give a but I never get feelings, cause shorty, I know what you after. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. They watching me, they watching me, they watching me. At 12, gon' find your ass way in New Orleans. Watch I look, I'm jugging. Dissect your hand if your hand in my putting. Put two in your man if your man keep a looking. Act like a poopy, your bitch get tookin'. I'm not the type to go fuck with them niggas who fuck with them niggas who stay on some fish. Oh, young and trapping out the bando. From the ceiling fan to the damn floor. Tryna stack my money up, cause that's the only way we can go. Tell my mama that I'm okay. See the money coming through the doorway. Got a bad bitch with a lot of money, that's foreplay. Okay, they watching me, they watching me, they But now that I'm gone, you want me back. Yeah, I gave you everything. Gave you a diamond ring to watch it fall from your head. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. And I don't wanna love again, 'cause I'll be living with regret. You came back to me. I don't trick or treat. Don't knock on my door. Don't want you no more. You broke me, and I don't wanna see you. And I don't wanna see you again. No, just trying. Oh, don't deny the fact. The fact that there's never less to you. I played the game but lost the bet. I don't wanna love again. And I don't wanna love again.
Was it? Yeah, it was yesterday in a game where the Enchantress just got first blood on one hero who's just running away for like 25 seconds and just I mean, your move speed too, right? You start with 320, no boots, no windlace, I think.
It's really nice if your support or your offlane, right, your 3 and your 4, can actually just run at the Ench when she comes to the lane.
Yeah.
Because she's not very tanky, honestly, early on, and she oftentimes won't skill her heal right away.
Yeah. We're seeing more of the Enches go for the heal build now as like their second spell.
Yeah, because
so
they've
that seems the
they've
new
learned,
044.
they've learned that they don't need impetus to win their lane.
Yeah.
The W is enough.
And it costs a lot of mana, right? You could just slow someone instead of hitting them with a, what, 60 mana impetus? Pretty good.
Well, it definitely adds a lot of damage to your lane, I think, if you go the Q, but it is much more mana.
So do you think it depends? Like, if, say, you're laning with a Spectre, you'd rather get, like, what would you get then? Would you get the heal or would you get the extra damage? Would you want to, like, help the Spectre more? Or
Just depends how Spectre's doing. A lot of times, like, I mean, Spectre's kind of a bad example because he'll just go Soul Ring first item,
Yeah.
and he'll just be self-sufficient on regen.
So then wouldn't you want to just get impetus then? Since you don't need the heal or something? Okay,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe you can afford to be more aggressive.
Well, guess what? Didn't get banned out. You're
God's
right.
called it.
First picked. You got to try to beat it, right? You don't want to just have to first ban it and lose a ban every game.
Nice. Well, also no
Earthshaker.
Rubik, so Seeker could jump in for the Enigma like they like.
Yeah, I was saying it feels like Earthshaker Enigma looks really good here.
You think even first 2 Enigmas totally okay? You're just
I
not
think
worried
so.
about Black Hole being counted?
I think so.
Any other heroes stand out? Any?
I actually, I used to, when I would pick Enigma, I think I felt like it was on first pick. You can just take it like, you can take it any time on first pick, I think. Or no, on
Why?
second pick. On second pick, because he does like well in a lot of lanes, or you can make it work. Like, worst case scenario, you treat him like a Earthshaker who fissure blocks the wave for his core.
Yeah.
The Enigma just goes jungling and denies a couple sets of creeps to get the lane back for the offlaner.
Yeah.
And then he's just always impactful.
Well, Weaver, and then they don't instantly take their next hero, still thinking it out, just didn't want to use any of that reserve time, and they don't. There's the Earthshaker after all. Okay, so that looks like it already moves the Weaver already into that guaranteed core role.
I saw Puppy play it as 5.
Okay, never mind then.
You say that as you giggle, though, so that makes me think you...
I'm just saying.
It's Puppy.
It's secret.
It's secret.
It's secret.
I was just like, isn't Weaver core, or just Weaver's good against Io in general, right? Because you know he's TPing, you're one of the few heroes, you just click a button and you run away, right? It is kind of pretty easy to do that, right? They're going to be there. You hit Sakuchi, you're already gone.
Unless his tether target has a stun.
True, but you usually know when he's TPing ahead of time, right?
Yeah.
Not always. Usually, I thought that's
yeah.
Like maybe
usually,
why
the play I think
it.
if you're ganking is like you have a third hero who has a stun, is roaming, initiates with a stun, and then the relocate comes in, and you may not be able to just Shikuchi away.
So 5 Weaver, Peter. Why don't you like it yourself personally?
It's just not that strong in lane.
No stun.
Simply put.
Fair enough. Do you take the Tiny or the Gyro here, or do you just say we don't want the Io counterpart right away? Well, the answer with it, it's a tree.
Tree and protector. Yeah, you can't show your cores because, you know, the Weaver could be 5.
Yeah. Ooh, this tree hero, it has been seen more and more play. Has it impressed you guys a little bit more? I know at the beginning of the tournament, not big tree fans. Has it looked a little bit better or changed your mind about it?
I haven't seen any of the games where he's had success. So, yeah, even though he supposedly won yesterday.
You can't prove it.
Did it really happen?
My eyes haven't seen it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to believe it.
Yeah.
But what does this hero do good? Obviously, it defends tower. I think that's the big thing we've seen. Defending that middle tower with the tree, that is hard to push.
I think it complements the IO pretty nicely because IO is always going to be playing behind your core and is kind of, in some ways, more like a 5 position hero, even though GH is going to be playing it. So you want this treant who can go shove out lanes, play in the shit lane, as you call it, or whatever, the dead lane.
The trash lane.
Trash lane, that's what you call it. You haven't adopted the dead lane? You don't like that?
Oh. Wait, does that?
That's the BSJ term.
You should
nah,
know that,
I call it the trash lane. I don't care what BSJ says. Anyways, I used to do some Wisp Tree back in my days.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of fun because it's like you're very like global lineup.
Super.
Right. You have the tree armor you can put on the Wisp, and then Wisp gets the healing. Then it doubles the healing onto the carry that he's tethered with. So that's great. And then Treant oftentimes wants to like play in that. You know, the dead lane. Yeah. And he can set up relocates with his overgrowth, so it's not totally terrible for him to not always be with the team.
Like that.
Which is kind of where I think Treant suffers because it's really hard to go mid on tree because there's no trees.
Yeah. You ain't ganking as a tree.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a lot that Nigma really liked to stack that healing with Io. They were doing Io Chen for a while, which was kind of hit or miss because I don't think those supports complement each other well, other than the like amplified
heals.
The Chen. Yeah.
Tree Ags is still the eyes in it overgrowths the round, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
That's like super luxury though.
Yeah.
It's fun when you get there, but oftentimes I feel like the only time you get Ags on tree, you've already won the game.
Yeah, or you're at a 60-minute game getting a lucky one from Roche or something.
Yeah, I mean if you're in a 60-minute game, you can definitely farm an Ags.
Yeah.
That's
so Philosopher's Stone, baby. You're there.
Yeah.
As good as there.
Yep, Philosopher's Stone plus a Meteor Hammer for some wave clear.
They don't ban Tiny. They ban Weeha's TA.
Okay.
I think Tiny is like to me the by far best core with IO. At least it's looked that way
at the
with
moment?
Nigma. Yeah.
Yeah, but Weaver's good versus Tiny.
Okay.
So that's maybe why they stay away from it.
Nice call, Peter. They don't take in the first phase, but they just scoop up the Enigma first pick out of the second phase.
Of course.
That's a lot of team fight. You got Earthshaker, Enigma already. Oof.
Tiny's looking even juicier now. Have Eidolons to farm, Timber's banned out.
Enigma provides a lot of damage for Tiny with his
the Midnight Pulse.
Yeah, the
Black
Midnight
Hole.
Pulse. No.
Okay. You made the Black Hole like.
No, I meant to do this, but I was trying to think about it as I was doing it, so it took me a second.
Yeah.
Black Hole's more
percent base damage.
This is a good stretch for the morning, though. This actually does feel good. Thanks, Peter.
Some Dota yoga.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Black Hole with us. Yeah.
Do the Black Hole.
Dude, someone should make. I don't want to
do the
spoil my idea.
Anyways, it was
Pulse.
Midnight Pulse.
Okay.
It provides percentage damage for very high HP Tiny.
Yeah.
You just shred right through him.
And it feels like with that Timber ban, they're definitely, maybe edging towards another strength hero possibly. We'll see. They're taking a good amount of their reserve time now.
No, they need ranged heroes.
And there you go. Silencer. Why not?
You don't want to be you don't want to be a bunch of melee heroes, Wisp Tree plus some melee cores against Enigma Earthshaker
You're just
Weaver.
gonna lose.
Like you're gonna.
And I know people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I have seen Mind Control as well play Silencer in the offlane in pubs. I don't think it was very successful, but I think it's one of those things. Maybe Weon thinks it's a good hero, and you try to convince your other cores, like, hey, if you play it, it becomes better. I don't know if that's like a thing in teams.
That is a thing. It's always really nice to find overlapping kind of.
Like Ember, right? Ember's a big.
Yeah, you want to have
carry.
overlapping heroes, especially between like your mid and your carry, or your mid and your offlane, or your 4 and your offlane, right? They need to have plenty of overlapping hero pool, and the more players on your team that play it, basically the earlier you can pick the hero.
This can go anywhere. Well, what does Seeker want to take? They are down to 15 Saints reserve time. They take the Beastmaster, and this looks like a draft we kind of saw yesterday, where it's just high octane, big ultis. They want to go.
Yeah, they kind of tipped their hand a bit. Wait, which of these heroes is Puppy playing? It's still a question.
I told you he's playing Weaver.
Is it do you actually think it is? Like
100%.
Okay, 100%.
No.
Yup.
They do a lot of mid Beastmaster actually. Nisha's played a few games of that hero.
And then what do you guys want to see then? The Earthshaker obviously you think should be Yapsor. Is that one? Can we lock that one in there or no?
I don't know if you can.
Okay.
Can you?
I guess it could be
Could
the
be
3 and
it could be Puppy Shaker, I think.
Nah, wait, Peter's already 100% in it, gods. You're
Puppy's
discrediting Petite Peter.
Although they did pick Tiny,
Okay.
so Weaver did get better as a core. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, Safelane Weaver looks solid here. As far as hunting down the IO, dealing with Tiny.
Fuck, he might be right.
Oh no. The 100%.
I mean, if it's not that last picking Matu's
I didn't know
hero.
Nigma was going to pick Tiny. How could I know that?
How do you not know they're picking Tiny? They've
Because
got
Weaver counters Tiny. So I'm
All right, yeah, you're clear now. You're good. But it is the IO Tiny combo, and we have a tree going into the off lane with maybe Silencer. I still want to say it's more than likely Weos hero, but
I feel like I'm kind of mad right now because I feel like Nigma was just picking the same heroes they did the other day, and I thought that we were going to come into this series and like see some amazing, cool new stuff.
they're undefeated. Why would we? If it works, it works.
Because you're playing against Team Secret. They're the best team.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're then they're gonna lose this game, right? Then you have 2 games to bring out the new stuff.
I guess I'm just disappointed that they didn't come up with some original, new, cool idea to beat the best team in the world. They're just like, yeah.
They want to see if their ideas that have been working still work when they.
I know.
And what about the last pick? What if they last pick a carry Spirit Breaker, Peter? Would that break the mold for you?
They definitely would.
Okay. Then maybe they still have a chance.
Although I wouldn't like to see it because I know that wouldn't work because that hero's terrible.
All right. Fair enough. Well, last picks. We got a Sand King band out, some initiation, because it does look like Nigma's just kind of locking run into you besides time. That's gone. So you lose your vision hero.
They need some just hero to start a fight because Tiny's not going
Maybe like
blink
a
dagger.
big AoE stun.
Yeah.
Or just a blink in the single target stun, like a DK type hero could even maybe work.
All right, I was trying to bait you into saying Tide, but you didn't take it.
You like Tide? That's what we
No,
want to see.
that's the meme. That's the meme, right?
What?
Isn't it? Wait, what hero was it? Didn't it play Tide like Seb or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like your memes are a little bit dead,
My
Peter.
memes are
No
just-
offense. Your memes
Is
are
that
of the
meme- there's
unfresh
no way
quality.
what new memes are there about MC other than play like Seb?
You're not wrong. Maybe there just isn't a meme.
There's always a meme, man.
Well, like said, pick the axe.
Everybody has a meme.
Yeah, what about Axe? Is Axe a bad hero here versus these heroes? And is a counter initiate, a good initiate?
It's probably
Well,
really
we'll see.
good
Whoa!
Whoa.
Tiny offlane.
Tree offlane.
What?
This is crazy.
Is it tree off
Is
lane with the
silence-
silencer
No.
5? No.
Weeha's playing silencer, right?
Okay.
Or you? I mean, you
Weeha's-
mentioned they play offlane.
They did play off lane. Right, he plays it in pubs. I don't know if they're breaking it out now, but
Tree and Whisper supports 100%.
Yeah.
okay. Trent Wisp 100%.
Luna's is Miracle safe in here, right? 100%.
Yes, I think that's 100%.
90%.
Mind Control could play the Luna.
And just go
That
like
sounds-
1-1-4 and
He's gonna go
group up with the
He's gonna
aura.
go Dominator.
What do you guys actually think? Straight up, you only get one chance here. What are the 3 cores playing what? You got to go quick. They're picking.
Safe lane Luna, and
Okay.
then I think what's the mid
Mid Tiny
matchup?
offlane Silencer.
Okay.
I'm
Locking it in.
It is Weehaw Silencer. The lock-in has already been shot down. The lock has been picked.
But what if he isn't mid?
Well, then I think they might just lose this game because I haven't seen Weehaw not play middle in a while.
That's true.
But on the other side, we do get the Spectre. We didn't even talk. Is that? I mean, you said you didn't like Spectre. Like when we saw it in NA, do you like it better now that Secret picked it? Like, how do you play a hero like this?
You got to fight
this game?
early this game. That's for
Okay.
sure. Because Nigma is gonna run at you, and Team Secret has some team fight, but they don't really have any like deep push or wave clear.
They really don't. You're right.
So the fights that when Nigma brings the fight, Secret, I think they're just gonna have to take it, like take the fight. And I don't know if they're
Every time.
I don't know if they're gonna be ready.
All right, so you're actually favoring Team Nigma now, Peter?
I like it. Their draft looks super fast.
All right, and it is the Mind Control Luna. Whoa.
I called it.
You did call it. All right, well.
Did you?
we'll
You
go
called
on this
the
one.
Puppy
He
Weaver
struggled.
you called. You called the Puppy Weaver.
Yep. Gods, what are we getting? Who's winning?
I have no idea. There's some weird-ass heroes in this game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Nigma just because I don't believe in 5-position Weaver.
All right, well, it is a 5-position Weaver, as you heard. It is an off-lane Luna as well. So even though the drafts, they were looking a little bit similar, these last heroes have definitely switched it up. Who is going to take game number 1? Will it be Team Secret? Will it be Team Nigma? All I know is it's going to be hyping to bring you that action. It's Dakota and Cap.
Grant, good morning. It was a pleasure to be here for Secret versus Enigma. I'm here with Capitalist.
Let me just say, Dakota, I'm so excited for this series right now. I think it's going to be super hype.
Man, these picks are ridiculous, Capitalist. The last pick, Luna, and it turns out to be Mind Control's offlane pickup.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
in for a Puppy Weaver. Because in the first 4 picks from Enigma's side, you know, as Grant put it, it's like we got a good thing going. Why mix it up? You know, the tree, the wisp, the tiny, that's all good and fun. But was there a reason that they're like, we need Luna? It's our last pick, and it's certainly going off lane.
Okay, a couple things. Because they have Chain Protector, they can run a ranged offlaner.
Okay.
I think that is the first step, because presumably they're going to have the IO tied up with the tiny, so they could run a ranged offlaner. They also, I think they wanted some sort of auras. So they couldn't get their Beastmaster, which was providing the attack speed aura, which is super good for the silencer. Instead, they're getting this Luna, which does provide the damage and armor aura. That is what she provides. Also, additional nighttime vision. That's also tied into this spell.
Yeah.
Not as value, but still really strong for a hero like Tiny, who has a very high base damage, right?
Yeah.
Like when he's hitting when he amps up and he gets his level 3 grow or whatever, and you would add on like 30% to when he's hitting for 250 or I actually don't know how much he hits for, but it's a lot, right? Then that damage percentage is going to be quite impactful.
It certainly feels like it's just that they had some checkboxes and Luna fit the bill better. Because it's like, if you were just hoping to get some aura replacement, maybe like a Vengeful Spirit could have worked out. Plus, you have a stun kicker, but maybe they were like, we need more team fight. We want more to dump in to these team fights. So,
and that was the additional point afterwards, is that Luna is a very good team fighter, and people have been experimenting with Luna. I don't know if Mind Control's going to go this route. I'm imagining he's going to go Helma Dominator and have the double stack of auras, but he could go the route where you're more of a magic damage dealing Luna, because I believe at level 15 you get the minus 3.5 second cooldown on Lucent Beam.
ooh.
And you can also go the cast range at level 10. So it allows you to be able to spam out your Lucent Beam quite a bit, and
Which,
it's really annoying to play against.
Obviously helpful. You're going against Enigma, who is trying to set up some clutch team fight. You're going against just scary backliners, plus you got Weaver running around in front, Lucent Beam, and Teamfight Chaos sounds like a good recipe for Enigma side. I guess I didn't ask because we are at a pause. It looks like we may give it a go, and we are going to get underway and into the action here. I didn't just straight up ask who you favor in this based on draft alone.
I don't think the panel was too far off. I do think that Secret their lineup is a bit slow. And we saw how the timing that Nigma reached with this lineup, they were so strong at like 20, 25 minutes. The silencer was really deadly with this IO. It helps that he's got 2 frontliners in both the tree and the tiny. They're able to just demolish buildings, and then silencer just demolishes heroes if you can't get on top of them. Now, Secret do have some ways to get on top of them, but they're very slow in that regard, right? Like, you won't see a very quick Blink Dagger from Beastmaster if he goes his normal, like, Necronomicon, Helmet Dominator route.
Yeah.
Same goes with Earthshaker, especially if they're not getting any towers, which Train Protector is supposed to be able to do for you. If you can actually limit the amount of towers that Secret takes and then simultaneously take away their map control, take away their towers, then where's Earthshaker farm, right? And then, like, on top of that, Enigma, not really going to be helpful until Blink and BKB. He's not going to make that really big difference in team fights. And then the Weaver Axe. All of these, I feel like every single one of these heroes needs, like, at least 5,000 net worth before they're really a hero and are useful in these fights. And I could see Nigma abusing that timing.
I like it. Secret, they need a lot of resources and need to pull together a lot before their team reaches that pinnacle prime, or, our favorite phrase, the power peak, if you will. While on the other side, Nigma can kind of more run and gun style take it to Secret and try to prevent them from even reaching that big moment. So as the lanes begin to come together now, here it is. The old Mind Control Luna lane is one that I'm going to be peeking my eye at quite a bit. Luna, obviously a ranged hero, but a short range hero, a little nubby ranged hero. Has to still get quite close to the action, but you got Kuro by your side, and as long as he's able to kind of stay close to the trees, he can get out some significant damage. He's going to drop, of course, that pesky Nature's Graph. And I've been playing this hero quite a bit, man. That Q is just, the slow is so much more intense than you think. Once you start walking through the sap, man, it's something else.
Yeah. And I think the Weaver support, I've been playing a lot of that with the early Blightstone. You feel really good as a harassment hero. There are a lot of poor 5 positions that you match up really well against. That you wouldn't expect, like Coddle. You just destroy Coddle as a Weaver,
yeah.
even though he has Blinding Light because the stats are so weak. I think in this situation, it's going to be a lot harder for him because Train Protector, far from being a weak stat hero. My man's hitting for 93 damage a hit.
Yeah. He does only have the 1 armor, but once he starts getting, living armor together, he can prevent any sort of heavy harassment. Though you would be liking to use that, that armor on your allies, but oh my goodness.
Is this our first blood?
Is Miracle really about to get first blooded by Zai here? By a little bit of an overzealous play. He is behind enemy lines. Zai chasing him down, looking to go for the punch. He's now brought the creep wave to him.
And the Fisher to finish him off.
The tip to start it off, though. I love it.
Damn. Zai's level 3 with first blood. Okay. I think this changes. Like, I legitimately think this, just gave Secret another, 5% chance at victory. That was such a big bump because he's had now a very successful lane. And he's going to get a very fast Blink Dagger, and that Blink Dagger is going to be a killer for both Mind Control and IO, maybe even the Silencer. Like, you've got some pretty squishy heroes that if you get a fast Blink, you can blow them up and stall their item timings.
Man, I wasn't scouting that lane before the dive was coming through from Miracle. GH was not there. I wonder if he was caught off doing a pull on the side, and the timing wasn't right, but GH was not with Miracle on that one, trying to commit hard with the tether and the extra bit of regen to try to follow through.
What I believe what happened is Enigma was pulling the lane back by denying all these creeps. The lane pushed into the tower, and Zai got a Fisher block that kept Miracle inside of tower range, and that's why he ended up in that sticky situation where he went down and through the trees.
Oh, extra props to Zai to get that one set up.
Mid lane is hard.
Yeah.
It is a hard lane. It's a melee matchup against the Silencer. And usually your biggest bonus as a Beastmaster is you've got these boars, but ranged cores deal with boars really well in the first 2 levels because they're so weak. They're just little piggy banks of gold at that point in time. So this lane is going to be very difficult, but we have seen Beastmasters, all they need is levels in this mid lane, and and you just start amping up. You just start clearing through jungle creeps so efficiently.
Yeah, Nisha in the meantime is going to have the salve ferried out his way to kind of, sustain and recover so he can get the XP like you're talking about, to at least have the tools necessary to make the lane a bit easier for him. As, can he really anticipate any extra pressure coming his way? It's not like Nigma are really supporting those traditional roaming kind of supports. So as long as he just kind of keeps himself from out the, firing range that Weeha's able to dish, then he should be able to recover and get back into action. So, if the call's been made by the panel and by yourself that Nigma need to kind of play this one more fast tempo and into Secret, what are they looking out for to start making that call to action? Is it, getting a certain hero to level 6, like Mind Control's Luna, and having that ultimate team fight? Is it having the first global silence?
So I think Kuro's positioning is going to be really key in this game. Because he's going to be slowing down a lot of these side lane pushes where Secret don't feel strong enough to team fight just yet. And he also has the best disable for allowing a relocate to come in. If you look at it, your other two cores don't do that. And that is something that I really don't like about this Luna. Big difference between her and the Beastmaster, right? Roar is one of the best setups for a relocate. Lucent Beam is one of the worst. It's a small little mini stud. So I think Kuro is going to have to make up for that because he is the only long-term disable that they have. So he can stop the split pushes, maybe catch a hero or two with the overgrowth. They relocate in with this tiny, and they have the global presence of the global silence as well, right? So that combination is like a guaranteed team fight win. You overgrow somebody and you relocate and pop global silence, there's no way they can get out, right? They're 100% losing that fight.
For sure. And you're absolutely right. Kuro seems to be the best one to kind of set things up if they want to make those aggressive type of relocate plays. And I would say, like, it's a treat early on, getting the XP. How's he going to be able to do? But currently level 3 at just about 3 minutes in, beating out Puppy on the other side. He's got the means to be able to build the XP, just has to kind of keep that going a bit. And then he'll be able to kind of match his team and being able to make the plays happen. Tree moving around the map is questionable in its own. He seems very slow, and it's hard for him to kind of get to his team where necessary, but anxious to see Kuro make it happen here as we are back and underway. GH and Miracle reconnected in arms on this top lane, and Yapsor is going to take the moment to step off and jungle, leaving Zai some solo XP and farm time, because he's already pushed up to level 4 now. And, he's coasting off of that early first blood.
Yeah, lanes are going pretty well. This Spectre hasn't been threatened nearly as much as I kind of expected. You check out his net worth, he's 3rd right now. Considering the very abusive lane that he's in, I thought he would have to blow up a lot more on regen, but he still even has a healing salve in his back pocket, so this lane is kind of going, it's going fine. I expected it to be a bit more a disaster. Zai's lane obviously went above and beyond by being able to get first blood, so that's going well. And then we already said Nisha at some point in time can just clear through jungle camps faster than you can actually lane. It would help if he could lane in addition to it, but it's still fine. So I actually am, the more I'm watching this laning phase, even though Nigma is winning, I feel like they're not winning hard enough in a way. It is very concerning because once Secret do come online with some of their items like the Blink Dagger, Nigma is the Blink Dagger and Earthshaker. Nigma, they're very easy for them to lose a fight off of just one good initiation.
Yep. Certainly agree with that, and Secret have that scaling type of lineup, with the Spectre after all, that if the other 4-man is going to be able to get a lot with that Blink and all that attention, then things only bode better for Secret down the road as they're able to kind of build off the back of that mid game.
So I just did one of my favorite things. At 4:30, you go behind the tower and pull the wave. And that it can block the easy camp, and then you also just pull it directly into the bounty room. Right? So It's just a nice combination of events that secures a lot of gold for you.
Yeah, Zai now gets that tower to assist in taking down that wave. And we see that full rotation over as bounties did just conclude. Kuro has to head back deep, but he's being constantly watched over by that Beastmaster Hawk. Nisha already kind of putting in the work, getting that little bit extra intel for the team. While Nigma do have that opposing ward on the mid lane side. They'll see any of those early rotations. We do have Nisha with his level 6 now. And the stun at the ready if he so chooses. A little bit of trading here at the top as a battle over the side camp pull. As Yapso returns to the lane at level 3 on his
they want to
Nigma.
fight this. Weaver's coming up here.
They're committing hard, and like you said, here comes Puppey, making it now a 3-on-2, putting their focus onto Miracle here. As he just scoots himself back towards the tower, GH will join him by side again.
I think they thought that Zai was going to be able to pick up level 6 off that neutral camp and pop his Echo Slam. It would have been a nice surprise move, right?
Right.
You can never tell exactly when they're going to hit that level 6, but if it happens in the middle of that fight, right, and he hits an Echo Slam and then Weaver's a little bit closer, then they easily could have killed that carry. I'm watching, one thing that didn't occur to me, there is not a good way for Nigma to really be able to stop all this jungling that's happening, right? They don't have a good roaming 4 position or anything like that.
Not at all. Global's going to be committed top lane after Weehaw picks up a regen rune at the top of the river. He takes his momentum to the top of the jungle, and they're able to find the catch and take out Puppey. But now comes Matama Man dishing out the first ultimate, able to clean out Weehaw, comes by the side of his team, and they're able to truck on forward and take a twofer and finishing off Miracle's Tiny.
I think this lineup from Nigma has a very delicate balance, and so every single one of these small victories I'm seeing from Secret, though that last one was, you could probably describe, a little bit bigger than just small.
Yeah.
These victories, man, they changed the game plan, I think, quite significantly. Nigma still has this really good timing that we've seen with the Silencer, Tiny IO. This trio is incredibly strong at 20 minutes, but they're not getting the pressure out of the lanes that is going to allow them to take towers early. I don't think they're inhibiting any of the item timings from Secret either.
GH in trouble top lane. He was just getting stalked by Zai and the dominated creep and had nowhere to go off to. They eventually pincer in on the little wisp and pop the ball. But you're certainly right. Without that kind of rotating lane pressure and no way to stop Secret from just kind of bulking up through the jungle, Nigma are going to rely more on these relocate surprise attacks to try to catch Secret off guard, prevent them from farming up, prevent them from playing the economy game.
I said one of their win conditions was being able to take towers with simultaneously preventing Secret from doing the same. Secret took the first tower in this game. That is very bad for Nigma, I think.
Call to action for Nigma bottom lane. They want to try to get a tower of their own, maybe a kill to boot as they swarm to this southern side. A 3-on-1 chase for Puppey's Weaver, but dang, that 5-position Weaver is elusive. They finally catch him with Lucent Beam.
No mana, so I think if they continue to chase with Mind Control... he actually had enough thanks to
now
the stick.
just space. Space for top lane. Space for mid.
Weaver support is incredible at space creating, and it's actually better at farming than you would expect, thanks to the Swarm being a really good way to farm neutrals or even full waves of creeps. So you could see Weaver at some point in time start doing some things like creep cutting or farming aggressively in taking away some of the enemy jungle, just because if you run into him, it's not that big of a deal because he's the most elusive hero in the game.
GH joins Miracle in the mid lane now as they continue to try to get this Wisp maybe closer to level 6, get more killing power onto their Miracle Tiny because he's going to have to show up and start dishing out the offense for their team. But we could see Puppey around the corner still stalking him out. He was able to plant a little bit of deep ward vision as well as the commitment to this bottom lane continues here. Still trying to
They know Zai's
tier
alone.
1.
They have a ward behind the tower, and yet they're still a little bit scared of diving him. And Zai, very clearly, Zai has been an incredible baiter for Secret in the last 3 months. And sure enough.
Yep, here we go. Puppey sweeping in from behind. Zai steps forward with the fissure, and suddenly Nisha shows up from the jungle front with friends in arms and hits him home with the battle roar. Mind Control looked to be Ness as they just chop him down within the trees, and Secret just on the full assault. Suddenly, it is 6-1 with a 3K net worth advantage, just like that, Cap, and they're about to take their second tier 1 of the game.
Nigma's going to have to take some incredible team fights here at around 15 minutes when they finally start coming online with some of their heroes and some of their items, because I'm looking at this and I'm watching this Beastmaster farm ancient camps really quickly. I see this this Spectre, who is being a part of kills, hasn't been slowed down one bit, it feels like. Second in net worth right now.
No, look at this. They're still on the offensive. Weehaw makes the return to the bottom lane, but Secret were sterile in the neighborhood. Miracle comes, but it might be too late. He's been blocked in from the fissure, and now a black hole. They are hemorrhaging kills at this point from Enigma as they lose 3 more, and somehow Yapsor pockets all 3. Are they seriously about to get a 4th? Are they going to disrespect this captain right in his own front door? They will. They take him down too. 4 fall from Enigma's side on the back of already a successful fight from Secret. It's 10-1 now from 6-1.
It's so cool that, like, Nigma has only shown this strategy once before, right? Throughout the rest of ESL 1, they didn't touch this same combination, only the game that we witnessed. And Secret just dismantling it with ease, it looks like. They, like, Nisha didn't panic whatsoever. Terrible lane. He's level 4 jungling. No big deal. Spectre somehow put up with a bottom lane pressure really well. Puppey was very distracting, I think, and integral in creating the space for that Spectre.
It's clear that Secret came in knowing who they're playing against. It's Enigma. So if you're not banning Wisp, you're expecting a Wisp-type lineup, and I would imagine that they have drafted preparing for that. Maybe a bit more greedy, scaling a bit more, avoiding fights that are not necessary, and farm where you know it's safe. Especially if they're going to be pairing this Wisp and Tree again, you know the lack of offense that's going to be there in the early to mid game. But now it's supposed to be their time. But the problem is the Secret are just so damn big. And they seem to be this buddy-buddy system at this point, too, where they've come together.
Yeah.
Because this is it. They know that if Enigma want to take picks, this would be it. They're looking for solo people who are just rummaging on their own that they can relocate in and pick off, but Secret are not giving them anything. A jump now for Weehaw. And they are going to commit in the Eclipse, but the Global is there to follow, and that is still not going to be nearly enough. Nobody is falling from Secret's side as they crush them down. GH, he latches on the Kuro like, please, save me! And he gets hit by that last little ranged attack and dies right in front of his brother. Oh.
I mean, it's simply not possible to get a good Eclipse in this game. You know, this Luna was maybe already a bit questionable to the start, but you could see maybe some reasons why. But just looking at the fact that Enigma has Eidolons and win a Necrobook, Beastmaster has his Helmet Dom plus his boars that he's bringing into these fights. There's going to be a Spectre who creates additional units with Haunt. Your teamfight presence as a Luna, you know, we said that was one of the things that she brought to the table. Well, it's completely out the window against a lineup like this.
Check the replay again of that action before as Nigma approached the high ground like, we got ultimates, this is our time, gentlemen. But Secret know that they're looking out for Eclipses, they're looking out for relocates, they're looking out from Enigma movement, and they are together in arms ready for the defense, ready to hold that wall. And
I love Zai's bots too, like what the hell? He just, like I'm watching him just like run down heroes.
This is a man who's been given all the wealth in the world and he decided, I'm going to buy a new pair of shoes, you know that?
All right, well, Nigma, they they wanted to try out, I think, this strategy that they came up with against a tougher opponent and a slightly weaker lineup. I would say Beastmaster for Luna is a pretty significant difference. But between that and facing up against a much tougher opponent, this strategy does not look the same. It definitely feels like it just perches on like the edge of a knife, right? Where it's just like it can get to a point where it's super strong.
Enigma finally finished out that bottom tier 1 tower, and they keep pushing through, and that's where Zai's waiting in the wings. He suddenly shows himself, drops the dunk onto Weehaw, and now they're going to follow through with additional kills here. Kuro steps in, drops the ulti, but it's just too late to assist in bailing out Mind Control. He will go down. Kuro seems to be next. They even relocated in GH and Miracle for this one to try to help them out. But again, it looks like they could have more casualties. Nice little relocate out with the timing, but look who's waiting mid lane. It's Nisha. See you later. Pops them down. Zai's got the boots of travel. He comes and says, no one's making it away. What are you thinking about? You witnessed that whole thing. We got to take you down too. And they do so. A global comes out from Weehaw at the end of it, but I don't know, Cap. Nigma might just be throwing this one over at this point. They are fighting it out, though. Mind Control's got his ultimate back up and is trying to take it to Nisha. Nisha squaring up with everything he's got. Finally will go down. Puppey swings in from behind. And, well, here comes Matama, man. He'll clean out Kuro. And
they're so low level that their death timers are super short, and they're bringing like 8 heroes to a single fight. And they only can get like 2 kills. It's just, I mean, I think in total, like over 5 heroes die in that fight from Nigma for sure.
I mean, for maybe 2 secret heroes, right? Yeah.
That was it. And it was also every single one of their ultimates. They used Relocate, Overgrowth, Global Silence, and Eclipse. So they threw everything they had.
And still lost. I mean,
wait, are we sure this is the same team? Secret's the same team that lost to Unique, right? And then Nigma's the same team that went undefeated so far in the group stage. These are the same teams we're talking about, right? Because that's not what it looks like on screen.
That's clearly what you got to do against Secret, because Nigma are bringing something that we have seen from them already in this tournament. When Secret went against Unique, they were pulling out like Bristleback, they were pulling out Earth Spear, they were pulling out stuff that Secret had not seen in a while. You got to really mix things up on the Secret, I would appear, because this is a team that is doing their homework.
They certainly are. And at some point in time, we're going to have an Aghanim Scepter on Weaver. He's about halfway there now. And any of this damage that you're seeing from like the Tiny combination or this Eclipse that is going out, that is going to be easily rectified, and they're going to find themselves getting no kills instead of the 2 they got last time.
Watch out the back end of that killing spree coming out from Secret's side.
All right, they're making their play bottom.
Yeah, they
Time to shut down Weaver.
They got the outpost. And now they're looking to work in for a tier 2. Now Secret had already taken Roche. They have an Aegis. They've taken the top tier 2. They're already pushing inside the base.
Look how unafraid Matubba Man was. He was taking shots in the tier 3 tower.
Mostly alone. When you should be fearful of like a relocate kind of approach coming in from Enigma, he seems to have no fears at all.
AoE heals are really good at being able to offset the damage of early Eclipse. So we already said, hey, all these summons, they're going to be a problem. Well, now we've got Guardian Greaves on the Enigma, so yeah. He's
waiting on Black Hole, and then Secret.
Whoa, you seen these odds? That's a bargain right there. Somebody needs to dump their money on Secret, because 1.01 is a bargain as far as I'm concerned when you've got an 18,000 net worth lead, 24-3. Damn. I'd be down to drop a grand on that in order to get $10 back.
I would love if Nigma came back and we clipped that as like a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. Like, I legit dropped the money. Here, Secret, though, looking for closure and seeing how their high ground siege potential is going to go. They just casually run down Weehaw and take him out of the fight. That's a global taken off the table, unless he wants to force out a buyback in 25 seconds' time. Ultimately, Enigma may know the horizon of this game and could be, just playing it out in discussion of what's going on for game number 2. But my God, Secret have opened up a can of whoop-ass in game number 1.
Yeah. Dai is eventually going to get Miracle killed here. They're just preventing him from TP back to base.
Dunk on him. The global does come out.
Okay, the turn.
Oh.
He already blew his combination. It wasn't enough to kill the Earthshaker.
Now Matubba Man shows up.
3,
Stun.
2, 1, get him out! Yeah, they made it.
Made it back to mid lane, and they're like, wait, what's going on here? We lost our tier 3. Yes, you did.
There's only 2 heroes here, so surely they can get a kill.
Ooh, the Greaves. Nisha walks out the other direction.
They couldn't get a kill. It was Kuro that died instead. They had 5 heroes in that mid lane against the 2 of Yapsor plus Nisha, and they still couldn't get a kill. And step back, somebody died. This is just... I would not want to be in this fight anymore. Aghanim Scepter for Zai. He says, screw a blink.
Test of morale it's going to be for Enigma as they take the approach to game 2, because game number 1 is real rough here.
I mean, I feel like this is such an experimental strategy that they're running. Like, might be something they've run once before in a scrim, and then we've seen it once before in official, so this might be like their 3rd game of this, So I think in some ways they're like, okay, boys, we won 2 games in a row with this, but this is obviously not as good as we thought it was, and that's okay. You tried. Secret may have seen it before, but they haven't played against it before. It's all theory crafting, most likely, at this point in time.
Just group stage.
Seems like Secret did theory craft it pretty well, though.
Yeah, now time to pull out the next card. As Zai goes leaping in, he's like, I got an Aghanim Scepter. I don't need no blink. Whoop, boom! Jumps in a second time, smacks him down. Mind control falls. As
How you doing?
Clean out the Roche camp again. Secret just keeping the fight on the other side of the river where possible.
Zai! Run!
Okay, can Zai's team show up, or are they going to take another loss? The 4th kill going to Enigma at this point. Now they quickly try to bail out. Weehaw is going to be able to make it away.
See you later, nerds.
And Nigma buy maybe a little bit of time with the Earthshaker being on the sidelines. But we're getting close to Puppey having an Agnum Scepter, so even where Enigma was barely able to scrap together kills, it will become that much harder once your 5-position Weaver has that kind of save.
If I were to like seriously evaluate Nigma, I do think that Tiny, this core Tiny does get really strong, and so do all their cores. I just feel like Spectre is too big of a late game carry. It just works so well against a squishy cores like Silencer and Luna, where Dispersion bounces damage back. That being said, Dispersion is based off of proximity. It does less damage the farther away the heroes are, so that does play to the Silencer's strength at least.
But, you know, here we have Nigma. I believe they just tried a 5-man like smoke out movement, but Puppey was around on that pesky Weaver, spotted it, quickly time-lapsed away. And now Nigma are back holding hands inside their own base, just going from lane to lane, trying to alleviate a bit of the pressure here, but obviously losing in the farming game quite dramatically as Secret just go from land to land, taking all of the resources here away. But here's an approach from Nigma now. The Haunt comes out, the Jig is up, the Global is following, but Kuro's already been chopped down by Matama Man, and now the chase is on. They're looking to go, Mind Control. Oh my gosh, trying to make it away, the toss there. And they finally catch him with the Malphus and the Centaur, and he's just down and out. No buyback for Mind Control here for 30 seconds. This could be the beginning of the end as Secret go in for the winning knockout. And there it comes from Zai, the Echo Slam, the finish onto Wii. Wii's going to be forced to buy back, though he doesn't have a global. Not too sure what he and GH alone could bring to the table. But hey, Kuro's back.
Weehaw has yet to get his first item, by the way. He's still working on that Force Staff, which is a poor reactive measure to Spectre with Diffusal Blade.
Yeah.
It works a little bit, but not that well.
The Black Hole is there and cleans them out. And finally, the towel is going to be thrown in. It is Secret who showed that they have eaten their Wheaties today.
Nisha with the, whoa, how close was that? The answer to that question, not very. It wasn't close at all.
34-4 your final score. It finishes exactly at the 23-second mark, but Cap, it felt like it was over much earlier than that. Oh my God.
Two of the best European teams matching up against each other. Game one, what are we going to see? Total shit stomp. That's what we're going to see.
Total stomp. Total stomp. You know, unfortunately, the situation as is, you know, it doesn't really stem from like one certain activity. Yes, Zai got that nice first blood, took it to Miracle and such, but it's a credit of a lot of different things. You have Nisha, who recognizes what he's able to do in the mid lane, saying, I got to go get farm elsewhere. The rest of the team recognizing that they could play a bit more greedy and just try to totally counter the mid game potential of Enigma and what they wanted to do.
Yeah, one of the most disappointing thing to me is we've already seen Nisha farm mid Beastmaster and do really well, so that wasn't surprising. What was most disappointing was the bottom lane. And the Luna Treant Protector against Weaver Spectre. I feel like you should be able to pressure that Spectre really hard and force a lot of regen, maybe even kick him out of lane. But that wasn't the case. I feel like that was the one lane that you really needed to dominate, but it wasn't even close. And so back to the drawing board, quite literally. I think this theory crafting of this strategy definitely needs some more tweaks if they're going to continue. I think core silencers is a possibility, but you definitely need
I'm so sorry that I wasn't really there for me. Cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quiet undertaking. Did I do something wrong? Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here with my thoughts alone? I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I'm so sorry that I didn't go to therapy. Thinking everybody, even you's an enemy. Brutally awake and quiet undertaking. Did not do nothing wrong. Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here to get drunk alone? And I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. If I am so wrong and so gone, miserable, won't you stick around just for some be visible? But you don't know, you don't care. Leave me to suffer, erase all the doubt. Pouring Jack in my mouth, in love with enough of the pain and the drugs to be present for now. All I might know, I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be
ESL1 is brought to you in part by Intel, Mercedes-Benz, GG Bet, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, and DHL.
Team Secret versus Team Nigma, the two best teams in their group, maybe in this tournament, but only one team can win. And you see the winning team of game number one right there, Team Secret. Puppy, the confident captain in the middle, and the rest of his very, very good players. These guys, as you said, they won 4 out of the 3 lanes. And, well, if you win 3 out of 3 lanes, you're 99% winning a game. You win the jungle as well. That's 100%. Peter, they've got to mix it up. You're the one who wanted to see him mix it up before game 1 even. Give me a hero you think Kuro would actually switch it up with. Is there a crazy hero out there, or do you just want to see him play more meta stuff as well, like the Earthshaker first picks and stuff?
I'd love to see Miracle play Furion, Queen of Pain, or Luna.
Okay.
So Kuro could be a little bit more creative. Maybe even get that Kuro Bounty Hunter that we've seen a couple times.
All right.
He could play Grimstroke.
Yeah, what's going on with the Grimstroke hero? We saw it, I believe, once yesterday in the 6 games we casted. The day before, it wasn't like banned or picked really, and we all look at it highly. Is there when is Grimstroke bad? I should say, because we know when it's good. Ricky's jumping in. When's it bad?
I think it's almost always good, because as long as it pairs well with the heroes on your side.
Okay. As long as you can be aggressive, right? You want to be aggressive with that hero or someone to be aggressive with. And guess what? We've got the draft right ahead of us. We'll see what bans are going to come out. I almost feel like Puppy's going to ban the IO, even though they dumpstered it, to maybe really mind game them.
No
You don't
way.
think that'd be like the mind game to the mind game? Like, we just dumpstered it.
I think the
and we're
mind
gonna
game
ban
is
it.
to let them think about if they actually want to pick it.
That's probably a better mind
Make
game.
him
You're
sweat.
correct. It's a little bit smarter. That's why you were a captain. I wasn't.
Yeah, you were a captain, right?
Yeah, not as quite high caliber as you, but I was there. I've dealt with people telling you what to pick and how to do your thing. Peter,
Yeah, exactly.
I've been there.
You can relate.
Yeah,
Did you captain in NADL?
Oh,
NADCL?
yeah, NADCL. I sure did.
Did you? I thought Bleak did.
I was like I was like the captain. I was really good. I was about to go in on Peter, but the mic held me back. Thank goodness. No, but captaining. I mean, Peter. Honestly, when how. I don't even know what question I was going to go with. It was going to be a little flame.
Led them to thinking about the game in oftentimes a unique way that you've never even thought of it before.
Yeah, and I go back to last ESL with OG when they were running 30 through at that Shen middle. It was always just cool, something different. It worked for them too. They didn't win, but they did pretty well. And okay, once again, it looks like one team's banning cores, one team's banning supports.
And Secret is first pick this game, so they're banning strong laning supports.
Yeah.
Right? It's really nice to have strong laning supports on second pick as you're blind picking. And a strong laning support will help offset the potential counter core matchup that you might be faced with.
There goes the enchant again. Don't think we're going to see much. I almost feel that hero might be the most banned hero now. It almost feels like it's up there.
Yeah, Enshin. I think a lot of Phoenix bans as well.
Yeah. Feels those two are definitely the biggest when they don't.
Lycan's out a lot too.
Yeah.
Lycan's not been dominant though when it's picked, especially teams picking at first stage. I feel like I've seen it lose a lot.
No, you're right.
Yep.
But I still feel like it's been banned a lot.
A ton, yeah.
If you forget about it and then suddenly there's like some...
Beastmaster up there too.
Beastmaster has been that here, and we saw it last game. Don't just have to go into the offlane. You can go middle, and as God say, you get a lucky item like an Iron Talon, and all of a sudden, you can already do Ancients without it. You get that with the Iron Talon, that's quick farm. They ban out the Ember, so you got a first pick. Anything just complete stand. I know we've talked about the Earthshare. It's always hard to do the first pick. Secret, they've done.
Yeah, Rubik's still in the pool, but that's maybe more something they want a second pick in response to the Shaker if Nigma grab it. But you never feel bad about a Rubik pick.
Might do Dragon Knight.
The DK still in the pool. Yeah, I would say the one hero that isn't shared between NA and EU. Have we seen like really any Void Spear in EU? We saw a couple like day number 2, but it was getting first phased yesterday in NA. It's one of those heroes I'm just surprised it's like super loved in one and then just honestly ignored in the other.
Witch Doctor.
I believe that was first banned last game as well. So they'll scoop it up this time.
I think I've only seen a couple of the CIS teams play offlane Void Spirit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did see. We saw Funnick play it once. Yeah.
But it's not a top priority.
Not priority over there. They take the Witch Doctor. We've even seen Yapzor play it. No, they do it. They bust it out again.
Told you,
IO.
Peter. They're going to go IO again.
They are.
Told
They're going to mix it up a little more and go for that Weaver, which, as we've said, is very open. Obviously, we just saw Puppy played as a 5. We've seen it off lane. We've seen it carry, and we even saw it once in the mid roll. So this hero can do it all.
You first to Enigma.
Yeah, I think they do.
Curious.
I don't see why they...
Is there a reason you do Enigma over Shaker here? Sorry, because I feel they both kind of cover the IO. Lone Druid.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That was banned game 1.
Yeah, it was. And this is the opening they did yesterday, right? The exact opening. Witch Doctor, Lone Druid. They own that game 19 minutes.
Okay. Forgot about the Lone Druid ban. Yeah. Not present here in game 2.
So Nigma say we're gonna change it up a bit because different heroes are banned. We're gonna try IO again while giving you different picks. So now they get to see whether IO can work against Lone Druid Witch Doctor.
This Lone Druid hero is very scary. You guys like the build? We saw it yesterday. It was Secret as well as Skeeter played it on Crazy. They went the same build, the Mask of Madness, MKB Moonshard.
Well, I definitely like the Mask of Madness.
Yeah. The MKB is kind of if they have like a hero with evasion or something, or
yeah. Were there heroes with evasion in those games?
Yes. Well, In the EU game there was. I don't think there was in the NA game if I remember, but apparently just a lot of damage.
Because I would think Deso's just more single target damage compared to MKB if there's no evasion in the mix.
Yeah, I always like mask Deso on Bear and let him just destroy buildings.
Yeah. Well, there goes the Timbersaw Secret Bandit in the same phase last time as well. This time, they're not letting it happen. They do ban out the Enigma in the second phase. So because they didn't commit for it like you wanted in the first, it will go away.
Okay. Like Enigma's chances a bit more now with that Enigma out of the pool.
Probably see some Shaker action somewhere. Both teams needing some stuns.
Wow. Is there a IO? We obviously saw the Tiny last game. What's a good core? Is Tiny good versus Lone Druid? I just don't really know like the core matchups versus Lone Druid, like what kind of pairing you'd want with that.
I would say probably not that great versus Lone Druid.
Maybe a ranged core, something like the Gyro then, or do you just maybe ignore a pairing and I don't know. I mean, because Nigma used to do that, right? They just picked IO, and they didn't even have like that one, like, oh, IO Ursa, IO Tiny. They would just play the IO. I didn't know if there's like a straight up good counter to the Syllabear.
Ursa could be. Actually, I don't know. I think Lone Druid's kind of good versus Ursa now, with the fear on the bear.
Always have a way to actually escape.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think Weaver Wisp is that great of a combo.
It's also probably the support duo, would you say? Oh, as in you're saying it's not a good combo with Core Weaver.
Yeah, Core Weaver.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you're talking generally or not.
Oh, and now there's the Ruby we talked. It's good after you see these Earth Shakers and another one, Sand King, one of the best steals you can get.
But yeah, no, I agree. I don't think the Weaver Core is a hero that benefits from that tether buff and the regen.
But hey, the IO, he gets all the movement speed from Sakuchi.
Yeah.
I guess you get that from support either way, so whatever.
It always feels like those super hard carries, the Lunas, the Gyros, the Tinies, just partner better.
But now they've picked Sand King. So is this potentially a 4 Sand King for GH? Or...
It's usually mind control.
But then Weaver is...
5? Maybe they're taking a page out of Secret's book and doing the 5-position Weaver.
It's Kuro and Puppy. I'm sure they know each other well.
Okay. I guess maybe Kuro's playing Weaver.
Or maybe, I mean, well, why couldn't they just pick a four hero here and still have the Weaver core and the Sand King off lane?
No, they could. I'm just not sure how much I like picking your carry 2-3 after only seeing a Witch Doctor and saying, you know, Weaver's going to win us the game.
Fair. Well, Nigma, they're a little bit lost as well as they're getting a lot of their reserve time here.
Which of Weeha's here is good against Lone Druid is maybe the question.
Definitely not a silencer this game.
Wind Ranger, let's go.
I think Kuro will play Weaver, actually.
And they go with the combo. They do end up getting that Gyrocopter.
All right.
So it is looking more and more like that Kuroki 5-position Weaver.
Feels kind of weird, doesn't it? Him just like taking Weaver after just getting destroyed by it last game.
Why is that
it's like
weird?
how many games has he played this hero, or
yeah,
does he understand why it's good?
I don't know if has he played it at all this tournament?
Kuroki, no.
He's a very well-rounded player, no doubt. I guess it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah, because, right, he saw it work, but as God say, does he know why it worked? Well, I guess they won all 3 lanes. That game, it felt like anything could have worked with how well it went, but...
True.
All right, what do you got? What's the pick here? This is your big counter pick when you're on that first pick.
I think it's a super nice Morphling game.
Yeah.
Ooh, Morphling, Sand King, and Gyro. Some real nice... And Weaver, some real nice steals. That just means, man, the Rubik. The Rubik has his pick of steals this game. Holy smokes. The IO, obviously, you just don't even touch that hero.
Well, you just want to make sure you have team fight. But they actually don't have that much team fight with Witch Doctor and Rubik. They got ahead in the last game because of their greed, right? They didn't, like... Wisp wants people to play into his lane. He wants people to click Gyrocopter so he can utilize the double regen.
Trade, yeah. Bloodseeker, whoa!
Bloodseeker. Well, they're 2 Invis heroes, we were saying, King.
Now, do you... what does this hero do for you in the game? Like, what is your main goal as a Bloodseeker, right? Is it just, do you farm? Do you fight? I just don't really know how this hero plays out right now. We saw last ESL, and it was just like he got a Maelstrom and he just farmed a lot, but I don't know if that's like a slow way of playing now.
I feel like usually you're picking it because there's some really good hero to drop the Rupture on. That's generally one of the key things with Bloodseeker.
Is there?
I
It feels
feel
like Gyro wants to just stand there and fight,
yeah,
right?
he's got the IO back him up. I think the synergy with the Lone Druid Fear is going to be kind of nice. That's something to look out for, and that Secret will be looking to utilize.
I think the lane is good against Sand King. Maybe that's why.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't really like its scalability in this game so far. Gyro just wants to stand there anyways.
Fine.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Rupture will relieve the pressure, right? If you Rupture Gyro or Sand King or Weaver while they're running at you, they'll stop.
And you can get away, but can't really fight into them, yeah. Well, they ban out the Zeus. Not wanting to deal with that global presence, the heavy nuke.
Secret really lacking AoE in team fight. I noticed in their lineup. They have a Cask. It's going to maybe hit 2 people. Lone Druid, single target. Rubik, single target. Bloodseeker, single target.
So are we thinking this is a Zai hero last? Well, we don't have to think because we know it is going to be a Mars.
Okay, I think that was a super necessary addition to their draft. They needed
Big
some
team
team fight badly.
And now, as you said with the Lone Druid and the Rupture, now you got the Lone Druid plus the combo with the Mars.
Rupture plus Spear.
Oh.
Forced movement.
My goodness. They got a lot of force movement. All right. I actually like how Nigma's draft looked before they even have their 5th pick. There has to be like a really good hero here. You know you're probably going against the Lone Druid middle. Do you just try to get a counter hero now that you already probably have the late game with this Gyro?
But what counters Lone Druid mid that Weehaw plays?
That's the question.
I don't think there is a great option, so I think
Do you just
What
get a
counters
tempo
in mid,
hero?
ignoring the fact it's Weehaw, what would you say counters in mid?
very few heroes. There's, I think Kunkka is good. I think Lina is good. Death Prophet.
He plays Lina.
Yeah, but I don't like Lina versus Rubik, but they could do it.
Necro got banned out. That's a hero that does decent.
I know TA gets dumpstered by Lone Druid, but are you not just don't mind going back to the jungle? That got banned out in the 2nd phase last time.
I think Death Prophet is good.
Okay. Well, a Dazzle. Okay, we have not seen a
Dazzle.
Core Dazzle myself. I know some other teams have been running it, but it's Weehaw Dazzle versus the Lone Druid. What do you do in this lane? Do you just poison the Baron right-click it, or do you just last hit with max wave?
Yeah, you definitely will. You do a little bit of both, I think. People like healers up against Bloodseeker because generally everybody on the team stays relatively high HP.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of sustain with the Wisp plus the Dazzle now as well. So, not loving the Bloodseeker pick from Team Secret,
Yeah.
to be completely honest. But I was a fool to doubt them in Game 1, so I will not do the same here in Game 2.
You're just going for a Secret. You said it before we even saw the draft. Secret's just the best team in the world, and that's what you're going with?
I think I'll trust my gut on this one.
All right, that's smart. Gods, what about you? Are you a gut truster or a brain truster?
More brain truster.
Okay, and what's your brain say?
My brain's saying Secret as well. I think similarly. You probably shouldn't have doubted them in Game 1. They are the best team in the world for a reason, and this time around they get some Matu Lone Druid. I think Nigma was a bit stuck with their last pick. They took 2nd pick and just didn't have like that big gotcha pick with the Dazzle, so I'll go Secret.
All right, we'll have to see. It is going to be game number 2, Nigma versus Secret. We've got another IO. Can they make it work this time, or will Nisha's Bloodseeker be that gotcha pick that everyone thinks they have? Well, we'll have to find out with Dakota and Cap.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Secret versus Nigma. Game number 2. Capitalist Nigma are running it back. They pulled out the Wisp again, and they even did one better. They said, you know what, puppy? I like your little Wisp thing there, or Weaver thing. You mind if I try that a bit? And they take it for themselves and then finish it out with a Dazzle gotcha pick. Are you confident at all with this Nigma lineup, or are you going to be riding the Secret train here for game number 2?
I am not super confident, no. And the panel was right about Kuro. The last time that he played Weaver was only one time back. That was in 2018.
2018?
Since he moved to support, obviously back when he was playing carry, I'm sure he played Weaver at some point in time, but those stats aren't recorded.
Oh my
those
goodness.
are too early in our
2018. That's like another.
2018.
That's another life. That's like dinosaurs existed. 2020 feels like it's been going on for 30 years right now. All right.
Yeah.
That's what it feels. So 2018 just, and especially with Dota and how the game has changed. 2018. That's like Dota 1.5. That ain't even what Dota is today.
He played a support duo with GH was playing Tusk. That was the game that they played it. So yeah, he has not. Maybe he's played in pubs. I'm sure he's had to have tried it. It's been a pretty big thing.
It's Kuro. He's incredibly talented. He's a gifted player. He's been playing, different roles. Obviously, mostly known for his support, his captain kind of support. But he had his own time on Secret where he played in the core position, and he's got years of Dota under his belt. I'm excited to see the Weaver come out here as we see teams early tussling for the bounties. Lots of damage onto GH, and they'll trade it between the both of them. How do you feel about the lanes this go around? Because I know last time things got away quite a bit from Nigma in the laning phase. Last time you said it was a big deal for them to pressure the Spectre. I know obviously they were anticipating their Whiff's tiny lane to go much better against Zai's Earthshaker. What is the certain to win lane for Enigma in this go around?
I'm not sure about certain to win, but I am really interested to see how Dazzle matches up against Lone Druid.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is a rare mid matchup. What I'm guessing is that Weehan's going to be spamming out his heal and forcing Matama Man underneath his tower. Because that is the obvious advantage that I see, right? Lone Druid has no wave clear in that regard. So he's probably just going to be like spamming the wave out over and over again. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to kill the bear ever with Poison Touch mixed with an explosive heal, but he can at least make it really hard for Matama Man to play his game like normal. So you're already seeing an impact. Two different waves. The first two waves of the game, both underneath the tower for Matama Man. The bottom lane, GH, I think, while they do have a kill combination between Mars and Rubik, I think they should be fine because it's not quite enough damage to 100 to 0 you, and the harassment of a Rubik is easily offset by the IO.
Yeah.
They will probably still miss a fair amount of CS, and Zai will probably walk away with being pretty happy with his lane, I would imagine. I think he's going to get a lot of farm. Top lane is hard for the Sand King, I know, because you can't just sit in Sandstorm. You just get blood righted every time. So the trade-off is maybe you will tank the damage, but you can keep your Sandstorm alive, or you have to break your Sandstorm. Both options kind of suck. So I think Secret's going to walk away winning 2 lanes, their 2 side lanes, but they're going to lose mid.
And I'm also curious how Enigma are going to transition. Let's say that they get the advantage in the laning stage. You got a gyrocopter. It's a bit of a fighty lineup. I'm curious how fast they will want to move. If this is like a Dazzle all-in with getting the book sooner than later and just trying to push the objectives and take it to Secret. And then on Secret's side, is it like, can they even match that type of pacing if necessary? I would feel that Bloodseeker is more of a fight or farm kind of hero. As top lane, they do get a nice stun setup onto Puppey. He's forced to pop a little bit of regen, but it's not going to be enough.
Nice.
He does go down. The chase is on, though. Nisha has a Kuro in his sights. Kuro is going to try to Sakuchi out using the bit of move speed.
He's still got vision. Kuro, that was very unfortunate. I think he was so close to being able to heal enough that he wouldn't be seen during Sakuchi.
Yeah.
That was the problem there. That's why he popped everything. He popped his healing salve. He popped his fairy fire because he's trying to get above that threshold where he's no longer seen when he's invisible. But sadly for him, wasn't able to get that high, so he couldn't juke with the Sakuchi. Still, though, first blood, very valuable for Nigma, so the trade-off's well worth it to them.
Yeah, mind control. While you say on one side, Zai's Mars able to just be content with the laning phase and getting his own bit of farm. You can obviously say the same here for mind control, and that first blood helps things even further here. The CS falling under their tower too, as we see Zai bottom lane needing a bit of early aggression, has to start chewing through that salve now, and just kind of fending off the pressure. If they can spot an opportunity to see GH on the side, maybe a jump for Miracle, but it would take a misplay from Nigma's end to have any kill opportunity down there. Top, mind control a bit low. Just be a little mindful of the Blood Right, only holds the 1 Fairy Fire.
Nisha doing a good job there. Even though he knew he wasn't going to hit the Sand King, he was zoning him away from the creeps. So 3 different creeps died without the Sand King being able to get close enough for the CS. And it looks like Weehaw may end up losing mid here. At level 3, he actually went the Poison Touch route. So he went 2-0-1 and tried to harass enough that he could kill the bear. But the problem I see with that is that the bear is fairly tanky, and he can just trade off, where he sends the bear back to stop taking Poison Touch damage and lets his hero do the damage. I think his play was definitely to try and just all-in spam the heal. Because as it is, he's just been able to resummon his bear whenever it gets a bit low.
And I'm not seeing Kuro shift over to assist in the runes either, so we saw Matamaman able to kind of get that haste rune bottom and use that for extra bit of harassment. So, without some assistance coming in, this one's all on Weehaw to kind of make the mid lane work for now.
So if I'm wrong about mid, then that means Secret wins all 3 of their lanes, which is very bad.
Yeah,
because we saw what happens when,
Bob trading it out. It's that 5-minute bounty fight time, and Zai's looking to swing it home onto Miracle. He's getting that extra regen. Swing and a miss on the Javelin, but they still are going to be able to take them down. GH now a slow walk away. Has the mana now for a tether. Can he find a creep? Yes, he can, but, still the damage has been done. Gyro taken down. Bottom lane was even feeling like a bit of a wash for both sides for a bit there, but now taking down the Gyrocopter puts a nice feather in the cap of Secret side.
Yeah. And when I say bottom, I don't think you can really say that's loss, as in the Gyro's going to have less farm, but I think you're not going to be happy with the amount of farm that Zai is getting out of that lane. He does have top 3 CS, but he's having to spend a lot of his net worth in regen because it is a very harassive lane, and he's got to keep himself topped up almost all the time, above 80%.
Yeah, for all lanes too, unless they want to give Nisha all this extra firepower for sure. Top Puppy able to kind of narrowly make it away from a bit of harassment. Kuro and now Mind Control both kind of don't want this pull action to happen for Secret, so Nisha can continue to get the creep wave where he wants. He's 34 and 14 denies on this Bloodseeker at this point. Obviously this was the big question mark pick from Secret's side, at least from our panel's eyes. They felt like this one was a bit outside the box of, for Secret. But Nisha is a man who can find the farm and suddenly make any core look really damn good.
I think they've got a lot of synergy with the hero. The arena sets up Bloodright very easily, right?
Certainly
and then
does.
On top of that, you've got Rupture with Spear, as well as the Fear coming out from the Lone Druid. So that's a lot of good ways to force damage with the Rupture.
Oh, yeah.
One of his problems is going to be that, for whatever reason, Nigma did go for 3 different save heroes, right? The Weaver eventually gets Ags. You've got Io and Dazzle, who both provide heals. So it may be hard to get heroes low enough for you to get those thirst stacks, but they do have really good combinations, so I anticipate it won't be that big of a problem. Weehaw may be in trouble here.
It's a very long-winded chase, but there it is, the pesky entangle. They're going to commit the Maledict, and that will be the finish.
Do you see what Matamaman did there? He leveled up his bear after he got the entangle, so it gives you a fresh chance at getting another entangle.
That's so filthy.
Yeah, it's those little things. Surprised that no one from Nigma moved over to try and TP in and help him. But again, with these supports, when you have Io and then another support that doesn't really rotate well, it does mean that if you lose your lanes, you're not able to change that fact, right?
Yeah.
No one can roam into mid to bail out Weehaw and kill that lone druid for him. They can't move into a tri-lane because their heroes aren't very good for that either.
I noticed that Kuro didn't even go at that early Blightstone we saw Puppy do in the last game, so he's not even bringing a whole lot of offense. He's just like a little Sakuchi and a bit of right click if necessary. So there's not too much of a threat from this Weaver. And I'm curious about the utility he'll even bring to the game. Zai's in a lot of trouble here bottom, as he does manage to make it out narrowly between the pressure of GH and Miracle. But yeah, what this Weaver's going to be able to bring until he gets that Agnum Scepter, and how the hell he'll get that farm is another question in itself, as we see a Dusk going to be committed and a movement. This Mind Control has been farming through Secret's jungle, and they have had enough.
Mid, they're still trying to dive Matamaman, but he gets a good Savage Roar during the Shikuchi, which forces Kuro away, and now the Entangle onto Weehaw.
Oh, not this again. Oh, another grab there. Kuro can't do much to stop him. Matamaman eats a bit of damage, but is easily able to gobble up Dazzle. That's 2 takedowns on the Weehaw in that mid lane.
So I thought maybe there was a chance there was some sort of weird synergy with the Weaver bugs and Poison Touch, in that the bugs attacking you would reapply. It does not.
does not. Dang, that would
I was like, when I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, that'd be a really sick combo. No, it doesn't work. Weaver is able to do a pretty good job of reapplying the Poison Touch because he can play so far forward and such, but definitely not good enough to take down Matumba, man.
Yeah, and you know, maybe in this early game, maybe when you have solo picks, but we're starting to get to the point where these offlaners are going to have initiation potential, and the team fights are going to begin, and the little single target cutesy things are not going to happen. But man, they were hoping to get a big pick there, grabbing Nisha, carelessly farming on the side, but they clearly don't have enough lockdown to stop them after the Swift and, you know, TP out. Bottom though, here we go. That first Mars ulti going to be unleashed from Zai's side. Zai and Yaps are trying to be able to make this work, but they have been overpowered, and it's Zai who will fall.
Yo, shout out to Miracle for that one. He went in front of the spear for his boy.
Mr. President, I got you.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you protect me most of the time, now let me protect you. He steps in front of the Mars, tanks the spear, which would have killed GH otherwise.
Well played by them, and they will string their second kill of the game there, securing the Mars takedown bottom. Nisha, after narrowly avoiding that gank, is already back onto the farm as more neutral items will start to trickle out now. So both him and Matama Man just really bumping up their economy game, already sitting at top of the net worth here. I'm curious if it's going to be a call to action for Nigma soon. You know, Gyro has his level 6. GH has got his level 6. Every time those are off cooldown, you know, let's see if we can bang out some kills.
Yeah, that is a major difference from last game, where the onus was definitely on Nigma to make plays happen. Like, they had to be able to fight, otherwise they were eventually going to lose to this Spectre. And by eventually, apparently, I mean like 20 minutes, the game was over. But in this game, the longer this game stretches out, I actually feel really good about Nigma's chances, because Gyrocopter scales really well. They've got this very greedy 5 Weaver, who is incredibly impactful if he gets to his Aghanim Scepter. And, you know, the other heroes are still pretty good too. So there isn't that huge late game threat that says, like, guys, we've lost our lanes. We have to win the game right now. We have to win, like, for the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, this game's just over. That is not the same win condition. They can scale a bit better and chill. So, you know, Secret also didn't stretch out that much of a net worth lead compared to last laning phase, only 1K.
Yeah, by now we were seeing them already start taking down tier 1s. Now they're just beginning to start to scratch that surface, but you know, while they're able to get some minor damage in onto this mid tier 1, Nigma about to finish off that bottom tier 1 and possibly move in on some fight action here in the mid lane. If the opportunity does present itself, a relocate Gyro could suddenly show up. Secret here in full force, though.
I think Nigma, and it does make sense for this meta, I think Nigma believes that being able to defend towers is quite important, right? Because they've drafted this Treant Protector a couple times. Now they have the Sand King, who's one of the best heroes to stand in front of tower pushes with Sandstorm. And then you combine that with a relocate, right? They're able to simultaneously take a tower while keeping up all of their own.
Yeah.
And that makes sense when the economy has changed to a point where having a net worth lead off of towers isn't that disadvantageous, right? You lose a team fight, but you don't give that big comeback gold anymore based off of your net worth lead. So
you can be taking fights and taking towers and building up lots of money off of that.
Yeah, and then you see like the Secret side and their prevalence with like these very tanky heroes that they like to be able to run. The Lone Druid in particular has been a notable one for them, but like Zai's DK in the offlane they keep on running. You could see some different philosophies in what they think is really strong in this patch and what works the best.
Yeah, whether it be kind of preserving the heroes and not allowing them to feed over a lot of kills, making them extra durable.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you would
regen
see
and heal, or defending
this
towers.
Nigma lineup. You would not see that for Secret, I think.
Yeah,
right. Because none of them are really that tanky at all. They are all very susceptible to being bursted down, and Secret, they always have at least one core that can frontline for them.
Secret playing the more safe avoid and farm route as their full team spread across the whole part of the map here. As Zai's trying to build up towards getting that Blink Dagger. Mind Control has his Blink Dagger, and he's looking to debut on Little Puppy here. Hits him up with the epicenter. Relocate's coming in, and he's going to allow Miracle to get the last hit in. Nice little ambush. It's a couple ults to get a little Witch Doctor.
It's a lot to use for just killing a 5 position, but I think they think it's worth it because they'll get a tower, but they would be wrong.
Oh, they ditch the lane. Mind Control's the one left behind here, but he is able to TP out. They have no additional disables. So his TP is successful. But again, the attention to defending these towers, to being there to not allow those free and easy +1 objectives. Secret making sure that they have that kind of fortification. As Weehaw, you know, it's been a bit of time now. He hasn't been easily as harassed and aggressed as we've seen, you know, in the first half of the game, and now is able to kind of get closer to completing out this Necro book. Starting to see Nigma swell up, build up a bit of confidence, and kind of taking fights and pushing this game forward.
Is this the grouping up for a smoke? It looks like maybe just going for the 15-minute bounty runes.
Oh yeah, Kuro will Sakuchi in, but they do have a sentry. Lift him up, set him down, and they squish the bug. He's not even able to get out the ultimate. Mind Control stuns him from behind here. Tries to hide under the sandstorm, and now the firepower shows up with Miracle and GH in arms. They look to isolate. They look to go for the big net worth one. Nisha here. There's the homing missile. He's got no help around, so he will be easily isolated and finished off, and then Nigma will get that pesky tower. Matama Man able to clear out that mid-tier 1.
Yeah.
Not able, you know, not really getting his hands dirty in some of these fights, knowing that he's going to have to match the scaling power that Miracle's bringing to the table now.
Yeah, normally Zai's the one who is in Nisha's position there, where he's just kind of being fed away for a lot of farm or pushing elsewhere.
Okay, Zai's got a blink, shows it here, jump onto Miracle, drops the arena, throws him against the wall. The Wisp tried to go for a relocate and was not able to quickly enough or close enough to get the tether, so now he's got to come back. Is he going to try to go for like a TP play or anything?
He's got to spear him during the tether or something.
Oh, tethers to Mind Control nearby. But that'll be the end of it. Oh, Mind Control says, I'm going to drop the epicenter here and try to at least trade supports, and he is able to get the kill onto Yapzor, but it's going to cost him his own life.
Yeah, this is terrible for him.
I don't think the epi for Rubica is quite worth it there, unfortunately. But you know, it's hard to watch a friend fall. I don't know what else to say. I have to give vengeance, and I'm curious how much Secret are going to take advantage of this next window of time where epicenter is not there.
Oh god, they started this a little bit too early. Weehaw's coming. Okay, the poison latch onto Matama Man. That's definitely a kill, I think.
Yeah, he tries to shapeshift and bulk up some HP. Yapzor's coming close, but obviously they will not have any defensive assist to save out Matama Man. So, hey, you know, props to Nigma. A lot of awkward attention at the top lane, but they do quickly grab up a Matama Man kill, and it mends things over nicely.
I'm trying to look at, like, what's the next big timing for Secret? Because it feels like they're only taking fights when they're kind of surprising Nigma, like with the Bounty Rune or when they caught that Gyrocopter out of position and then that turns into more kills. But they're not trying to take any straight-up 5-on-5s necessarily. And I'm just wondering what that timing is, because it feels like they're oftentimes trading away picks in order to farm up some more on 2 other cores.
You're watching the replay there of Zai's Blink debut as he got that jump snipe kill onto Miracle's Gyro. Very nicely played. And then followed up, trying to go for, you know, GH as he tethers to Mind Control nearby. You know, good on Secret to chase and get the Wisp kill. And then, you know, questionable Mind Control epicenter here. Does manage to get Yapzor down, and then they follow up with Matama Man, which makes things feel better. And now we're at 6-9 with Secret still having that net worth advantage. They just continue to be grinders in the farm. And while the action seems to be there for Nigma, and that they seem stronger when they're fighting as a team at the moment, you know, Secret just kind of can recognize, well, we're not good in a fight now, so let's just farm and defend what's necessary until we're ready to go on the offensive.
So Deso now for Matama Man, and they almost have the Maelstrom for Nisha. Their biggest timing is definitely going to be around the BKB when Nisha does go that route, but for now he's just building up on more damage, feeling like the SNY can kind of give him enough early game. You can really ruin your game by trying to build to BKB too early.
Yeah, because is there a lot that he has to worry about besides like Sand King stun and like homing missile that could really lock him? He might be able to just get away with having so much damage early. Okay, here come Nigma. They smoked and they rolled mid lane, and
Yepser gives him the oops
that
after
was
successfully baiting an illusion.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm imagining he had another illusion there that might have just baited that. And Nigma gonna have to head back to the farm for now and wait for their next opportunity to strike.
And Secret see that as an opportunity, apparently. They're going to 3-man smoke behind Yapzor here. I think they're pretty strong in a team fight. It really just depends on whether or not they get the initiation, right? It's up to Mars versus Sandking. It's easier for Sandking, for sure, to be able to get a clean initiation off, but it's more potent if Zai hits his, right? If he gets an Arena Spear onto somebody, they have a Blood Right over it, guaranteed kill and potentially guaranteed one team fight.
They spotted Weehaw near the Roche pit. And there's where your jump arena is going to be committed, but Nisha smells blood as he runs on through, relocate out from Enigma's side. As they try to dodge the secret approach, it looks like GH will be the sacrifice, but here we go. They're going to try to go with mind control. Whoa, but did he just lead him to where mind control is? For now, at least, GH will end up falling. And Mind Control will TP away. A valiant effort for Mind Control to bail out his friend, but...
Yeah, I saw him setting up like that, and I was like, I feel like the risk is just not worth it. Because the chances of GH actually getting out of this situation are so slim.
Because what is he hoping for, ultimately? He could tether far away for a TP? That's
yeah,
about
I guess
it,
so,
right?
like duck away into the trees or
That's
something.
That's about it. I guess the longer it takes Secret to find him through the trees and kills, the more space created, but... yeah, it does cost the risk of getting your Sand King spotted and killed. And for Secret to take good opportunities, here they just find the jump, catch onto Kuro, and are able to just blast him down again without the time-lapse able to come out. Miracle steps in, drops out the call down, significant damage onto Matama Man's bear, and he will get that. So Nigma continue to have that mantra of defend the towers with everything you can. And now they commit in Blood Right and the ultimate from that Witch Doctor, but here comes GH to try to bail out Miracle. Heavy damage inside the arena as Zai sets it up once again. Weehaw narrowly able to get the grave off. He barely survives. Enigma members just barely clenching onto life. Finally, they'll get the Dazzle finish, but it's costed Secret 2 already, including their Nisha core. Matama Man able to get the TP out. But it's only 2 Secret survivors here. And the deny is not
They
there.
didn't get it. I was hoping they would. That would have been sick if they got the deny in the tier 1 as well. So that should be good. No stuns available. But yeah, we finally got to see the Nigma team fight in action. Remember, we were talking about all those saves. Good spear from Zai, but it didn't stop the Dazzle from getting off his heal because they had already used the Blood Right. If they had a seal to overlap with this, then Dazzle doesn't get the double heal on the IO Gyrocopter, which boosts up their HP so much. And then he also gets the Shallow Grave off on himself, which prevents Nisha from being able to heal by getting a hero kill.
And Nisha just really got caught up into the mix and quickly blasted down. And look at the opportunity now for Nigma as they rotate themselves into the Roche pit. Big opportunity for them to get that advantage of holding the Aegis, but Secret, they know something's up. They jump across the river. The Roche is getting low. Secret are getting closer. They commit the Blood Right, but the Roche should be finished, and Miracle will take up the Aegis.
Oh,
and now they make the nice catch from Mind Control, getting the 2-man connection with the stun. Secret quickly retreat to the high ground to make it away. A chase out onto Nisha with the homing missile, but I think Enigma are cautious. Don't want to get overzealous. Don't want to overchase against Secret here. And now they'll segue themselves into a tier 1 takedown. Secret, do they want to fight? They're still here. A little bit of space between Miracle, GH, and the others, but they have found Mind Control on the side. Look to burst him down fast, but Weehaw able to get out the grave and bail him out. Now the arena going to be committed, but big epicenter. Jump in now. Full duration ult coming out from Puppey. Huge damage onto Miracle. Will get the finish of the Aegis, and Kuro eats the follow-up damage. Here's the return of the Aegis. Can they blast him down for the second time now? Matama Man and Nisha chunking him. Miracle to the high ground. The chase from Zai hits him with the spear, locks him into the tree, and that will be the finish of the Gyrocopter now. Puppey coming in from behind, trying to dish out the damage, but Weehaw and GH tag each other up. They try to run. The focus is there. They're trying to get the finish onto Wisp. They will clean them both out, it looks like, and it could be a full team wipe for Secret, as it is a 6-for-2 trade when you count the ages. Oh my God.
I think that when Secret gets the back line, these team fights look really easy for them. Here they got the initiation on a mind control, and then on top of that, they got an arena that blocked out all the gyrocopters' damage, like you couldn't flak anybody because they're all outside of the arena. A full death ward, and Yapzor came in with a clutch stolen burrow strike from the high ground and managed to nail 2. That was such a well-played team fight by Secret, and they're rewarded with this incredible team fight. But I think these same team fights, if Nigma just plays behind this gyrocopter, I think it's so difficult for Secret to take it, right? If they just don't get caught away from their gyro, if they just force Secret to somehow go through the gyrocopter first, then I think team fights are very difficult, and they're going to get a lot harder over time. So Secret, they got to continue to be very wily in where they initiate. They need to be able to wrap around almost always, I think.
Also how they set up. You know, in the previous fight, Puppey not able to get off that full duration ult mind control, whether he's waiting it out or not, have this stun ready. But when the stun is already committed elsewhere, it feels like he's able to get off that ridiculous ult without too much contention at all. With the homing missile being committed elsewhere, with the burrow strike already being dropped, you know, he's able to get off a lot of firepower on those back lines.
Yeah, remember that team fight where they got on top of the gyrocopter, Io and Dazzle at top, and those heals came into play? Well, imagine that same team fight, except for now, when they spear up the Dazzle, he gets Aghanim Scepter from the Weaver. He gets time-lapse, he's no longer stunned, and is able to instantly cast his heal, and then on top of that, he now has Guardian Greaves as well. So that is a significant boost. Imagine a little bit later on into the game when you have BKB, but also Ags and Satanic on the gyrocopter. Like, how do you actually take down this guy? Even though that was a great fight for Secret, they got to keep building that momentum, I feel. Otherwise, this team fight combination is going to be significantly harder to break every 5 minutes. I think already this big boost in being able to have the Weaver Ags is going to make a significant difference. These little pickoffs, like how they caught mind control out of position, those are no longer a problem. Weaver's just going to Shukuchi on in and time-lapse from like 800 distance or something.
Secret trying to take measures to deal with that amplified power. You know, you see Puppey trying to build into the Spirit Vessel, which could help a bit of that sustained power coming in from like Greaves and the Wisp and the Satanic, but that doesn't help with things like you're mentioning. The Weaver ult with the Ags is going to be just a swift get-out-of-jail-free card. And, you know, Secret, it feels like they're just going to have a lot of answers if they're looking to clash with Enigma in some of these fights. So I'm curious what their objectives are going to be moving forward here, whether it is taking fights or trying to find pickoffs or just split pushing and trying to scale them in the later game. But Enigma say it's time to go. And they pop the smoke and begin to head south to see if they can catch any Secret members.
Yeah, so it's now got a Blink Dagger on top of his Ether Lens, so Mind Control's going to have to be very careful with his Burrow Strike. He needs a Burrow Strike and instantly Sandstorm afterwards, every time. Because Yapzor, he's already put that Burrow Strike to good use in a couple of team fights. Oh, the smoke broke. Look at that.
Whoa, he quickly jumps out. He quickly goes for the TP. Do they have a way to stun Mind Control? Trying to get close. Not there in time.
Nigma had the right idea, which was they smoked, and then people do this very often. They play the hard edges of the map. Smoke is a great way to be able to find them. Unfortunately, Mind Control was too far away, and he's one of their only stuns. That is a really big problem for their lineup, is just lack of disables.
Exactly. And, you know, that's... You have to commit for something like the Weaver, and your mid lane doesn't really have a stun either. It feels like it falls on the shoulders of Sand King. Whether if he stuns for initiation, then he's not going to have stuns to get that catch and finish on whether it's going to be Puppey's ultimate or a jump in from Zai. Here's a chase out for GH. Easy catch onto the Wisp.
Oh, it's great because Nigma were kind of trying to force a fight, and Secret, I think it's go time for them. They've got BKB now on Nisha, so this is going to be one of their biggest power spikes in the game. And I'm hoping with the GH pickoff that they will just continue to push down mid and take that tier 2 at least. Maybe force Nigma, maybe they slip up again, maybe they try and defend this tower, you know, do half measures and end up getting caught, something like that.
Yeah, because it's kind of awkward how Enigma wanted to approach this kind of siege. Their early initiation really being kind of mind control at the moment, or a sudden drop relocate from behind. It's going to be... It feels awkward for Enigma to try to get a fight going the way they want. Secret are going to be there as a 5-man presence, ready to throw down.
They got to back up and get the outpost. 30 minutes is coming in fast, so Nigma recognizing that, knowing they have the outpost in this top lane, it's a good opportunity for them to just run straight at Secret here.
Ooh, they're going to grab it quick, and they got it. And as you mentioned, Nigma looking to take a fight, taking the outpost. Nisha forced out the BKB. He's committing all of his Rupture, all of his Blood Right to run down, to chase down, to finish out Mind Control. Can he get it? Miracle eating a lot of damage on one side, while on the other front, they are going to burst down and finish out the Kuro. Bug's gone. Mind Control forced to buy back at this point. Puppey very low, but he gets that ultimate. There's no stuns to stop him. GH, he's got the grave, but he falls into that grave shortly thereafter. Matama Man with the double kill. The chase continues as Secret stalk down Weehaw and Mind Control. The lift is there. Mind Control, though, wants to go back in with the epicenter, but he gets immediately feared and Yuled. And now hit with the Maledict. It is going to be a huge win for Secret. In the better position for the fight. They get the turnaround jump onto Enigma, and it is just a bloodbath, all Secret.
If they had made that move like just 5 seconds faster, if they get on top of the outpost and stop Zai from taking it, and they initiate on Zai first, then that fight could have been great. Because Secret was a little bit split apart. They could have taken out the big initiator in the Mars first, but instead they ran into Nisha and the outpost is taken. So their buybacks are useless. They can't actually TP into the engagement. And their initiation is completely ruined. At that point in time, Matama Man comes in from behind, hits this really big fear on 3 different heroes, totally disrupts the back line, just ruining both the Weaver and the IO.
Timing is just so fragile in Dota as we see, lots of trouble. A fear keeps Kuro locked in and he will be blasted down again. I don't know how many times I've seen this Weaver fall without even being able to get the time lapse off. But he will go to the grave again. Secret easily clean out that mid set of racks, and they're not done yet. They're already moving in on the bottom lane, the tier 3 to fall. This is just what Lone Druids do best, and they might just try to force Nigma to submit under their will.
I love how quickly Secret just took over the game once they got that BKB. I said it's go time, but I didn't imagine Secret was literally going to end the game in 3 minutes, but goddamn. Nigma, on the other side, they just look a little bit lost in some of these team fights. We have yet to see a clean team fight execution. Even in the top lane, when they won that engagement off of their sustain, it was a fight that was forced onto them, right? We have yet to see them expertly, start a team fight with proper positioning and such. And Secret, they're getting into all their weak points. They're stopping Mind Control from getting a spear stun, right? Like last time, they broke the smoke on Anisha, and Mind Control immediately got ruptured, so he couldn't do anything. Zai and Matama Man are both getting to those backline heroes every single time. As you said, it feels like Weaver's not getting off his Ags quite often, whether because he's getting feared or spear stunned. Just amazing team fight execution from Secret time and time again, completely outclassing Nigma, and this is what you would expect from the best team in the world.
Now on the verge of 2-0ing Enigma and taking back the top spot of the group, or at least being tied, I guess, in record with Nigma in that top spot of the group, but now potentially about to win the head-to-head. Makes Secret the contender, or at least securing the top seed of the playoffs.
I believe Eosin really wants us to mention Orb of Destruction is on the bear. Thank you, Eosin. We got it. He's got both Desolator and the Orb of Destruction, so they do buco bucks of damage on towers.
Freaking Lone Druid, has that bear, gets to have that extra neutral item, Reminds me when neutral items first came out and there wasn't a dedicated slot, and it's just like, hey, let's pick Lone Druid so we can have all the neutral items.
Yeah.
It's just make them so good.
With the BKB on the bear.
Right?
Now he's indestructible in these team fights.
Oh.
They're going to try and gank it first, but...
Yeah, Nigma tried to get crafty here, sneaking in, catching Secret maybe with their pants down, but Secret got a belt on tight, and they are playing together as a team, kind of like what we saw in game number 1. They recognize that Enigma only have these few and far between opportunities to catch Secret, maybe split apart, but Secret not allowing any of those opportunities to show themselves. They are together, the buddy-buddy system, as they try to close out the final set of racks and obtain Megas. Look at that bear. Chomp, chomp, chomping away as they are forced out the glyph. Well, we're starting to pull off. Send Puppy, at least for now, to the bottom lane. Secret saying, we got time on our side. We can be a bit more patient.
Yeah. They've got nothing but time when you have a 24,000 net worth lead. Like that, on paper, that gyrocopter that gets some of these big late game items doesn't really mean anything when you got this big of a net worth lead. Also, the 4 Protect 1 strategies have really fallen out of favor in this patch over the last like 4 or 5 months. They just don't feel as good as having like semi-carries that can play active at 20, 25 minutes and still scale later on into the game.
Secret waiting on the high ground nearby. Know that they have vision control, hoping that Nigma just overstep one step too far and maybe could get the catch, but Nigma playing this one patient. Know that they have to kind of be stuck with their heads down inside, waiting out. But this is all high ground defense, which is, you know, decent for Nigma. It's not anything you can kind of just recklessly throw yourselves into when you got a gyrocopter, when you got a Sand King. But Secret want to wait till the stars align, and they've got the lanes pushing on multiple fronts, and a way to kind of get in there without too many problems. Satanic complete on gyrocopter. It's something. And now we just got to wait out for that rapier.
I'm assuming we're going to force it when we have.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Jumping from Zai. He spears Miracle into the arms of his team, and Nisha tries to go toe-to-toe with them. But here goes Puppy with that ultimate, dishing out all that damage through the Maldic.
Oh, he sent him back with the time lapse.
I was going to say, he's back closer to the enemy now.
Miracle's like, I didn't want to be here, Kuro.
And he was hit with the Spirit Vessel, so he can't get any life back. He's just dead. Well, I didn't see too many ultis, but there was one at least. My God, Secret. This was supposed to be a super hype series, a very close barn burner with both of the teams at the top of their groups, but Secret beat down Enigma so bad, Aosin's client just blows up, and, well, I think Secret got top seed there, Cap.
Yeah, Secret said, don't forget. Don't put this Team Secret name in your mouth. Unless you're really prepared to take it to you, man. Just because they lost to Unique, still remember that they went on a serious winning spree. Terror, they have been winning tournaments left and right. We see exactly why. Doesn't really seem to matter what kind of strategy you come to them with. They just play better than you.
Everybody got to check out that Unique series a bit closer and be like, what was it? What was it that team could do that we all can't? Right?
Yeah. There was an interesting breakdown from 1437. I encourage everybody to check out the video he put on that series. He had some interesting ideas on it. But, yeah, Secret just look fantastic. And Nigma, in this series, they look like the Nigma that was bottoming out of every tournament. They just could not get anything put together. When you face up against the best in the world, it just looks like nothing can go right with you.
Definitely could be a shot to the morale. You think you're doing really good, you're kind of back in form going through this group stage, and then you match up against Secret, and you're like, well, how far are we from being back in true form? But Secret show that they are at full potential here, so I'm curious to hear how the panel are going to be breaking this one down. We send it to a break, but when we come back, Grant and the gang will tell us about that series.
They see me shining, calling me a goddess, thunder in the